name is Ellie Bennett, and I've been making these little feather trees for about 6 or 7 years. And feather trees originated in Germany in the mid-1800s. As the story goes, the Germans were concerned about cutting too many trees from the forest, so they wanted to use the tradition of Christmas tree, but decided to use some of the materials they had around their farmstead. Resourceful people that they were, they noticed that some of the geese that they had on the farm had some very nice feathers, and they used those feathers. And the Germans brought this tradition with them to the United States. The original feathers are usually white, very long, very full, and they've been stripped and made into smaller pieces, cut down the spine of the feather, so that we end up with just a little thin wisp of feather that has also been dyed green. I start wrapping the wires with some brown floral tape. I put a berry at the tip of the wire, and that's really to keep people from poking themselves after the tree is finished. And the floral tape covers the wire because it provides a good bond for these feathers to stick to as they're applied to the wires. And the feathers are applied to the wire with the point of the feather pointed down toward the bottom of the wire, away from that little berry, and attached with a 1/2 inch of floral tape. The feather is wrapped around the wire, and at this point you begin to see how the feathers resemble an actual tree, a little evergreen tree, because as you spiral it down, the feathers fan out. We wrap all the wires to the end. The longest center branch gets 3.5 inches of feathers. The 3 branches that are the top layer of the tree get 2 inches of feathers, and 4 branches get 3 inches of feathers, and then that final 5 we wrap 5.5 inches of feathers. After all the branches have been wrapped, you go back and you bend the wires at right angles. The center trunk, that just stays straight, of course. Now, after you have all the branches ready and they've all been bent, we're going to assemble the tree. First of all, take the top layer of branches and hold them up against the trunk of the tree just below the feathers that have been applied to the center branch. You wrap it in a wire. Now this time you use a very thin 26 gauge wire. Wrap the 3 branches, holding it to the center trunk. Wrap it all the way down with wire. Then take floral tape and cover all the wire all the way down with this stretched out floral tape. That holds the top layer fairly securely. The final step is to cover the floral tape with a piece of brown crepe paper that's about 3/4 inches wide and about 8 inches long. And then the next layer of branches, next level, is attached the same way that the first was, with the wire, the floral tape, and the crepe paper. Measure down about 3 inches, and that final layer of branches is attached again with wire, floral tape, and crepe paper. And you have your finished tree. I usually put it in a little 2.5 inch wood block base. Then the fun begins when you can decorate your little feather tree with whatever little ornaments that you like. Enjoy it for the holidays and even all year long.